Hi, I'm Joe Carswell, will teach construction, and this lesson is all about job site safety awareness and how to stay safe. So let's get right into it. The best way to stay safe on a job site is to understand what's dangerous or to be able to identify an unsafe condition. And there's an agency that has a lot to say about this. That's OSHA, that is the Occupational Safety and Health Administration. These guys make a lot of rules that we have to follow by law on the job site to keep all workers safe from injury or death. OSHA defines 4 different categories of fatal injuries that can happen on the job site. The first one is slip, trip, and fall. Then there is struck by, caught between, and electrical shock. Slips, trips, and falls have more injuries than all of the other 3 combined. This could be anything from falling off of a ladder or scaffolding, falling into a hole or over a ledge, or slipping or tripping on something on the job site. Organization on a job site is really important, and unfortunately, this is all too typical. You see in the image a lot of things that need to be cleaned up, and you can imagine just trying to walk through this job site. If you're carrying something heavy or you're limited visibility, it makes it even that more dangerous, and falling with heavy things is even worse. So always be aware of your walking, and if this is your job site, clean it up. A ladder is one of the most dangerous tools on the job site, and the fact is that most injuries happen at a height or a fall from a ladder of 10 feet or less. So if you think that a ladder is only dangerous at a certain height, let that go and always respect your ladders. On a construction site, there's always a lot of holes. And in this image, you see one that doesn't have a staircase in it yet. This is a serious fall hazard. So the answer to this problem would be to add a guardrail. And OSHA gives specific rules on how to build the guardrails to make them safe. If it's a smaller hole, we could just cover that up to make it safe. But the bottom line is we can't have open holes on a job site. Struck by hazards involve falling or flying objects or moving equipment or a combination of all of these things. Tools or materials on ladders are an accident waiting to happen, and the person that is below this ladder would receive any of those objects and surely get injured. Heavy equipment on a job site has a lot of blind spots. The operator has a hard time seeing everything at all times. So anybody that's standing near this equipment while it's moving is in danger of being injured. Check out this image. There's a couple of struck by things going on here. You got somebody carrying materials, some boards on his shoulder through a narrow space. You got a guy using a nail gun. Either one of them could get struck by the other. This is a great moment for everybody to focus and be safe. On a construction site, there's always flying debris, and this is an example of some debris that is embedded in a pair of safety glasses. I would say this guy is feeling really lucky that he had his glasses on, and it's a good example of why you always need to wear your safety glasses. Just like your safety glasses, your hard hat is there to protect you against hazards like these. A falling object, say off of that ladder that we talked about earlier, if it hits your head, you've got a head injury. These are very serious. This hard hat in this image took a hit. If this had happened to someone's head, that would be a serious injury. Electrical shock is another category, and we all know that electricity is dangerous. So electrical shock can cause serious injury, and it can happen from a number of ways. One of these ways is overloading circuits. So we're really tempted when we're working on a job site to just go the easy route and plug everything in to the same place. This is a bad idea, and it not only can cause electrical shock to one of the users, but it can also lead to electrical fire. So it's a really bad idea to overload a single circuit with multiple tools, especially if they're running all at the same time. While we're working on this building, we don't have all of the safeguards in place for our electrical. We have to be more respectful of it. Here you see a painter working around an open junction box. So there are bare wires in there, bare terminals, and if he was to get too close to that, he could be shocked. Here's something I see on a job site that I really hate. You're going to see it as well, and that's missing ground prongs on plugs, whether that's your tools or your drop cords. That's the third prong, it's the round one. They often get broken off, or people take them off so that they can plug them in different situations. If you see this on your tool or your drop cord, don't use that tool because that's the part that will keep you safe. I took this image of an extension cord on a job site, and I'm sad to say there's not one, not two, but there are 3 electrical shock hazards here. First of all, the jacket around this extension cord has been damaged. We're looking at the wires inside. That's problem number 1. Number 2, we have one of the conductors inside that's been broken and then spliced back together with a wire nut. That's not legal either. And now someone has tried to repair this by wrapping it with a tape. This specific tape is called duct tape, and a lot of times this duct tape has metal in it. So now we have 3 electrical shock hazards happening on this extension cord. I'm sorry, but it's just time to throw this one away or cut off all this mess. Install a new plug on one end, and now you have a safe cord, but it might be a little bit shorter. Take a look at this scissor lift. There's certainly a lot of pinch points here. As this thing's moving up or down, if you can imagine getting a hand or your arm caught in there, that would be a serious injury. Smaller objects like ladders also have pinch points. These extension ladders move up and down, and as they're doing that, you could get a finger caught in here as well. We make breathing hazards on a job site all the time while we're building, whether that's sawdust, just dust in the air, concrete dust, harmful chemicals, put out fumes. As we're breathing those in, we can be injured. We need to protect ourselves against breathing hazards, and we do these with either dust masks or gas filtering respirators. Not only do we make a lot of dust, we make a lot of noise on a job site, and decibels of a certain level will injure your ears over time, so you need to protect your ears as well. You do that with earplugs. Injuries do happen on a job site, and when they do, they need to be reported. So if you get injured, no matter how big or small that injury is, find your supervisor and find out what you need to do. It should go without saying that when you're on a job site, you should not be under the influence of drugs or alcohol. This makes you lose focus. So make sure you show up at the job site clean and be safe. This guy is focused only on his phone. That makes him a sitting duck on the job site. It's everybody else's responsibility now to keep him safe. You should not stray or be distracted on the job site at any moment. If you have to take a call, step out and take it and then come back. You can't lose focus. So that's a short list of job site hazards that you might see when you're working. Remember, it's up to you to keep yourself safe and the other people you're working with. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next lesson.